Dela Ward. Dela Ward, Wajir County. Let us know when you are ready.
What's up?
Good to go.
Okay, so we can go.
Yes.
Okay. We just been to see Mheshimiwa Yusuf, MCA for Dela Ward in Wajir County. We join fellow Kenyans in thanking God for sparing his life. He has spent the last 6 months in unlawful custody. In fact, there are people who go through normal trials and they get sentenced. Get sentenced to 6 months in prison. He has spent 6 months in prison without any lawful cause. His abductors released him unconditionally and told him to keep quiet. So we want to condemn in the strongest terms possible his illegal abduction. We gather a few others have also been released. On our part, as the People's Loyal Coalition, we will continue to say no to abductions. We will say yes to observance of the rule of law and strict adherence to our constitution. There can be no reason whatsoever why Mheshimiwa Yusuf and the many agencies, we gather there's too many agencies who are in unlawful confinement. We demand that they also be released immediately, and the abductors identified. This is very important. Who are their abductors? We know that there's a special squad complete with a doctor. They are meant to drink water. That's the one thing the doctors there tell them, drink a lot of water. By 1 meal a day, make you drink a lot of water. That is why Mheshimiwa Yusuf came out alive. And if you have a setup, and that's why we say this is all state-sponsored, because which other people can afford the services of a doctor? Okay? State-sponsored terrorism. Now, as you release them, like Mheshimiwa Yusuf, as you release them, and we say, please release them. No, it's not please. You have no option but to release them. But then we also want those abductors identified, prosecuted. We are not going to accept the issue of compensation, for example. Before you talk compensation, bring the perpetrators to book, charge them in open court. Then you know at least you have a heart of flesh and not a heart of stone. We are dealing with stone-hearted individuals in this country who hold the reins of power, who think they can establish torture chambers. The matter of Yusuf is international business. I've just been to the UN and I talked about me coming to see him. Therefore, we want to thank Gerke and other Vaishnavas. And we want MPs from the Northeast, for example, to stand out. To stand out. Stand up also. let nobody be user-friendly by a regime that has gone rogue. Maybe my brother can say something.
Thank you very much. We are here to stand in solidarity with the family of Mheshimiwa Yusuf, and particularly the people of Dela Ward in Wajir County, who have gone for months without their representative. The family that has gone through a lot of trauma, not knowing whether their son is dead or alive. A family that had actually been shown a dead body and had actually almost gone into mourning the death of their son, only to discover that he was still around and he had been abducted and held in detention without trial for 6 months. This is what we're here to condemn. And as Mheshimiwa Yusuf lies in his bed here, receiving medical attention, his abductor-in-chief, because this is a state matter, and the commander-in-chief is none other than William Ruto, his own minister has told us, J.B. Muturi, when his son was abducted, and he went everywhere, the way Yusuf's family has gone, it only took one call from William Ruto for his son to be released. Maybe Yusuf's family wasn't as powerful. They could not get that call made. That's why he was held for 6 months. So today, as we meet the family here and thank God for saving the life of Yusuf, the abductor-in-chief is in Isili, going on with business as usual. And we challenge the leaders of northern Kenya. The issue of abductions is not about a region or about religion or about parties. It is about violation of human rights. It's about a rogue regime that does not respect the rule of law. And we must all come together from north to south, east to west, to say no to William Ruto and the abductions that are still going on. And we also call upon our friend, the Honorable Raila Odinga, who has now chosen to go into cooperation with the chief abductor. How do you go into cooperation with someone who is still abducting Kenyans? Apart from Honorable Yusuf, who has been released, we have confirmed there are other Kenyans, Gen Zs, who are still being held. A few abductees have been left. The longest serving abductee, Yusuf, has been released. But what happens to the other Kenyans who are still being held? How can we go into cooperation? I heard them saying they want Musyoka Kalonzo to join them. Kalonzo has been on the front line, championing the issue of fighting for the rights of abductees. And we say, as a People's Loyal Coalition, we are not prepared and we will never go into bed with the chief abductor, with the oppressor of the Gen Zs, with the chief high priest of corruption, when we are talking about fighting corruption. So we want to say today that this matter will not rest here. We let the family go home with their son, to thank God for that. But after that, we must come together as leaders to pursue this matter to a degree higher than just compensation, so that we get justice, not just for Yusuf, but every Kenyan whose rights have been violated. And for this, we assure Kenyans, we will not relent as the People's Loyal Coalition. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think I'm truly grateful for His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo, His Excellency Wamalwa, all being here to come and console our friend and our leader for Dela Ward. We want to, as leaders of Northern Kenya, we want to condemn in the strongest term possible for the adoptions that has been happening in the country for the last 1 year. It's unheard of. It should not happen in independent Kenya. These incidences and where Yusuf was being held for the last 6 months, there are many more Kenyans that are still being held. With the facilities which has been operated and manned by top government individuals, with a doctor in prison, trying to measure even the water level, the water intake of the various individuals that have been held. There is no other person who has the capacity to hold other than the state. We will hold the state responsible for the various abductions that have been happening in the country. it is only Ruto who has the capacity and who has the machinery who have been abducting the many more Kenyans that are in place. So we strongly condemn for those many months and many days our leaders have been held, and we want Ruto to be accountable for what has happened. And indeed, he should be held accountable. I think if this is a matter for ICC, accountable, this is, if we as a loyal opposition, we are going to recommend and make sure that this becomes an item for ICC, because it is none other than the person who has been operating, it is William Samoei Ruto, who is indeed operating, and with his support and with his advisor from State House. That's why JB Muturi was able to get his release only from the head of state, from Ruto. It appears that many others who are still being held have no other sole relative, or they cannot access the head of state for them to get a release. So what we are saying, and it's coming to confirm that what is happening is unlawful, illegal, and Ruto should actually be held accountable for his misdeeds and his misrule in the country. Finally, I want to say to them, and I want to condemn the cooperation that has happened between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Samoei Ruto. Many Kenyans have supported that, and the fact that Raila has gone into bed with a government that has soiled its hands, that has been responsible for the misrule for the last 2.5 years. I'm ashamed that I voted for Raila Amolo Odinga in the last election under the umbrella of a Eugine. And I'm seriously surprised that unless otherwise, many Kenyans are really truly disappointed with him. Because he has let us down, and what Kalonzo Musyoka has said is a betrayal of the Kenyan government, and is indeed a betrayal. The marriage, the unlawful marriage he has gone into bed with Raila, with the Ruto, is truly a betrayal of the Kenyan citizens and the good citizens of the Republic of Kenya. But thank you very much.
Maybe to clarify, unless you have a question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In this cooperation, who are the winners and who are the losers?
You are
In your
Kenyan.
opinion. In your opinion.
We want to make it very clear. I saw one of them say, Kalonzo, leave us alone, because they wanted to go to bed with him. I tell them, please leave us alone. We will be on the side of the people. And unless we drive them home, that's the only way to really actually deal with them. Yeah, the people will drive them home. So let us really move in that direction. So let them, nobody, no second guessing or anything like that. Wishful thinkers. Well, it's always good to have wishful thinkers, but let them know our official position as the People's Loyal Coalition is to drive them home. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
How are you?